Tell me, just tell me.
Your wife was decapitated.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding.
There is a body part
Oh, God, man.
in this bag.
What was it, her?
This is 68-year-old Johnny Goodwin. He has just learned that his wife of 45 years, Connie Goodwin, has been found dead.
It was originally a bag in a bag in a bag foil.
Which bag is it in?
It's in this one in foil.
That's a human head.
Yeah, it's real.
The brutal nature of the crime leads investigators to believe it was personal. As they pull at the threads, the case only gets darker. And by the time the chilling truth emerges, 2 people will be dead, and an entire family will be left with questions that may never be answered. Just after noon on October 29, 2020, in Hot Springs, Arkansas, Adam Webb walks back to his truck after finishing grocery shopping at Walmart. As he loads his bags into the back seat, he notices something in the truck bed. It's a black trash bag he's never seen before. He opens the outer bag to check what's inside. Beneath the second layer is a second bag soaked through with red liquid, with what appears to be clothing partially visible beneath the stain. Webb steps back immediately and dials 911.
I just got a little bit of groceries. They're in the back seat.
Okay.
I came out, I saw that bag in the back. I thought it was just somebody putting trash in my truck, which has happened before.
Yeah.
So I opened that outside bag, and I saw there was another bag inside of it with what looked like some clothes and some blood on it.
But you didn't see what else was in there?
No.
All right. Well, obviously there's something bad in there.
The first responding officers arrive within minutes.
This is your truck?
That's my truck.
Wait, how long ago did you pull up here?
I don't know, within an hour.
You didn't open it, you just touched it.
The outside bag I opened.
Okay, and then what did you see when you opened it?
I saw there was 2 dots and that blood on, or what looked like blood on the second bag.
And then you closed it right back up?
And that's what walked away. I didn't touch anything after that.
The officers open the bag further and discover that the contents are wrapped in multiple layers, all lined with aluminum foil. When the foil is completely peeled back, the sight is gruesome. Inside is the severed head of a woman. One of the officers notices something else as they examine the remains. The woman has a visible black eye. Whatever happened to her, the injuries began before the decapitation. Officers immediately secure the scene and restrict access to the truck, treating it as an active crime scene. They pull the Walmart parking lot surveillance footage to determine if someone placed the bag in the truck while Webb was inside the store. The footage answers that question immediately. Nobody approached the truck during that time, and nobody even walked close to it. The bag was already in the truck when Webb arrived at the Walmart. Wherever this crime took place, it didn't happen here. Webb is the only person connected to the truck, which makes him the first person of interest in the case.
I didn't check the back of my truck before I left my house.
Yeah.
So
Where do you live at?
Maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes from here.
Okay.
Yeah,
you didn't
I
notice
don't-
anything in the back then?
No, I didn't. But I also didn't go back there and look.
Yeah. Okay.
The officers bring him to the Hot Springs Police Department for questioning. Webb is searched and seated inside the interrogation room. He walks through his entire day from the beginning.
Where all have you been today?
Today?
Yes, sir.
Just to Walmart.
Okay, so you left from your house and went to Walmart, and then tell me what happened when you got to Walmart.
I got there around noon or so, had a short grocery list, came back out to the truck. I noticed something in the back and looked a little weird, so opened it up. I saw what looked like blood, and I backed away and called 911.
Webb's account doesn't change from the crime scene to the interrogation room, and not a single detail shifts between the tellings. Detectives note the consistency, but consistency alone does not confirm innocence. Looking for any crack in his story, the detectives shift the questioning toward his surroundings, hoping something unusual from recent days might point them toward whoever placed the bag in his truck.
Have you noticed anything unusual? Anybody strange in the neighborhood, vehicles, anything like that?
I have seen a guy walking down the street older gentleman with a backpack a couple of times, and I don't know where he's going to, but
Okay.
I see him walking up and down our street, so I don't know if he just walks everywhere or what, but I don't know him.
Officers later review body camera footage from the crime scene to check if anyone matching that description was watching the police response, but nobody fitting the description is located. The man with the backpack could be a convenient misdirection or a genuine observation, and at this stage, detectives cannot take anything at face value. Then comes the detail that redirects the entire investigation. Webb reveals that the night before, he was at the Doubletree Hotel in Hot Springs for a work conference. His truck was parked in the hotel lot overnight. The detectives now have a specific location where the bag could have been placed, a location that has its own security cameras. Officers also search Webb's home and find no evidence that a crime occurred there. They even run checks to find any connection between Webb and the unidentified victim, but nothing links the two. Webb's truck appears to have been used simply as a place to deposit the remains. Webb is released but remains a person of interest until the investigation can clear him fully. The Doubletree Hotel is now the primary focus, and what the cameras there recorded will soon change everything about this case. While efforts begin to recover surveillance footage, detectives also move to identify the victim. Hot Springs detectives contact the Garland County Sheriff's Department to check for any missing persons matching the approximate age group, but there are no matches on file. Just as the detectives are planning to issue a nationwide alert, a phone call arrives from the Vernon County Sheriff's Office in Missouri. They report a homicide discovered that same morning. Deputies had responded to a welfare check at a home on Quail Road near Deerfield, Missouri. A woman had not shown up for her job as a health insurance claims adjuster. Her co-workers tried calling with no response, and a co-worker who was also the niece of the victim's son-in-law drove to the house to check on her. The doors to the house were locked, so law enforcement was called to force entry. Inside the bathroom, detectives found a body in the bathtub. The woman had been decapitated, and a knife lay in the tub beside her. The victim was identified as 63-year-old Connie Joan Goodwin of Deerfield, Missouri. Vernon County sends Connie's identification photographs to Hot Springs, and the local coroner's office confirms the match. The head found in a Walmart parking lot in Arkansas belongs to a woman murdered inside her home in Missouri, and the two locations are separated by approximately 300 miles. The investigation is now a multi-state operation. The central question is no longer just who killed Connie, it's who transported her remains across state lines and why they ended up in the truck of a man with no connection to her at all. Before detectives can understand what was done to Connie Goodwin, they need to understand who she was. Connie Joan Goodwin was born on February 4, 1957 in El Dorado Springs, Missouri. On July 19, 1975, she married Johnny Goodwin. Connie spent years as a teacher in schools in Minnesota and Kansas before working as a health insurance claims adjuster. She was a mother of 6 and a grandmother who her family described as the person who held everyone together. On October 28, 2020, Connie went to work as she normally did. She came home, and at some point that afternoon, she was alone inside the house. She would never leave it alive, and the person who would eventually explain what happened that day was sitting inside a police station 300 miles away. As Hot Springs detectives work to connect the truck to the murder, they run a routine check through their own department's records. What turns up is impossible to dismiss as coincidence. Earlier that same morning, before the bag was discovered, a missing persons report had been filed at this very Hot Springs Police Department. The man who walked in to file it gave his name as Johnny Goodwin. He had reported his 38-year-old son, Aaron Enoch Goodwin, as missing. The last name stops the detectives cold. Goodwin is the same last name as the woman whose head was found inside the trash bag. Detectives quickly confirm what the shared name suggests. Johnny Goodwin is the husband of Connie Goodwin, and Aaron is their son. Aaron lived in a trailer next to his parents' home in Deerfield, Missouri. He had recently quit his job as a bartender at the Eagles Club in Nevada, Missouri. According to the missing persons report, Aaron had been with his father at a hotel in Hot Springs the previous night and had vanished from the parking lot. Both father and son had been staying at the Doubletree Hotel. That is the same hotel where Adam Webb's truck had been parked overnight. After filing the report, Johnny had returned to the Doubletree to wait out any news. Detectives now know exactly where to find him. But before they go bring him in, the Missouri side of the investigation has questions of its own. Back in Missouri, detectives interview Debbie, Connie's sister-in-law, who was the first family member to enter the house. Debbie had tried to reach Connie by phone multiple times throughout the night, and every call went unanswered. Because the nature of the crime suggests something deeply personal, detectives ask Debbie whether Connie had any enemies or ongoing conflicts with anyone.
Do you know if she had issues with anybody?
Not that I've heard. They had a son, Aaron, in Arkansas, that has been having some kind of episodes that just kind of strange that she didn't ask us to keep him in prayer. Kind of sounds like maybe he was schizophrenic or something. I don't know.
Debbie also confirms that Aaron was supposed to be traveling to Arkansas with Johnny and that she had tried to reach both of them by phone without success. 3 members of the Goodwin family now sit at the center of this investigation. Connie is dead inside her home, Aaron has vanished without a trace, and Johnny is the only one who has surfaced. When detectives try to reach Johnny by phone to bring him in for questioning, he doesn't answer and remains unresponsive, raising further alarm. The pieces are accumulating faster than the detectives can assemble them, and one upcoming interview is about to produce a detail that nobody sees coming. Before the investigation fully closes in on Aaron, another detail from Debbie's family surfaces that could point in an entirely different direction. Detectives interview Keela, Debbie's daughter, hoping she can fill in the remaining gaps. Keela reveals that a few weeks before Connie's death, Aaron was involved in a bar fight.
Maybe 6 weeks ago or so, Aaron was involved in some kind of fight with sharpies. And he says that these people that jumped him and beat him up pretty good have threatened to kill him and then come after his family as well.
Aaron had described one of his attackers as a bald man with a neck tattoo. The Vernon County Sheriff's Department pursues the lead aggressively, but finds nothing connecting the man or anyone else from the bar fight to Connie's death. The lead collapses entirely, and the investigation turns back to the people who were closest to Connie on the day she was killed. The search for answers returns to the only Goodwin detectives can reach. Detectives head to the Doubletree and find Johnny alone in the lobby eating dinner. A man whose son has vanished and whose wife has just been found dead appears remarkably calm and composed. He agrees to come to the station without any hesitation. Before the questioning begins in earnest, Johnny asks the detectives a really strange question.
Are you guys believers? Can I ask you that? Are you Christians?
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes,
believers?
sir.
Okay. That might help.
Okay.
It's a notable way to open a conversation about a murdered wife and a missing son. Detectives recognize that people sometimes bring religion into interviews to ease their conscience or to rationalize what they know. With the religious framing set aside, the detectives ask Johnny to walk them through exactly what brought him and Aaron to Hot Springs in the first place.
I'm not sure. He's not been right. And he thinks God wanted him to go on a walkabout, and I'm trying to help him. I brought him down here and rented that place for 3 days.
So I went straight to the hotel, checked in somewhere around 8 o'clock last night.
I'd say so, yeah.
So when y'all checked in, who checked in? You or?
I did.
Okay.
And then when I came out to give him his key card, he was milling around in his gear and getting stuff ready. And he didn't act like he wanted to be there. And I could tell, and I could take a hint, I guess. I said, well, I'll go settle in.
Then Johnny mentions a detail that only came to light that morning.
I have his phone because somebody brought it to the desk this morning. I got this text. I don't have it on me, but I got this text from him this morning, or from his phone. This said, found this phone in the bed of my truck in Hot Springs. Not sure why it's in the bed of my truck, but I'm leaving it at the front desk of the DoubleTree Inn in Hot Springs. I said, okay, thanks.
And that was today?
Yes, this morning.
The phone is one loose end that Johnny can't fully explain. Aaron's disappearance from the parking lot is another.
I brought him down here and rented that place for 3 days. He was going to go on his walkabout. So I went in and rented it. Came back out, he's going through his gear, and I'm standing there talking to him. And he goes, well, yeah, I'll be up in a minute. Went up to the room, probably a span of an hour or so, and I go, something's not right. You know, he'd been up here by now. And when I'm down, he's gone. His gear's gone.
The detectives then shift to the hardest part of the conversation, the death of his wife.
I found out she's dead this morning.
You found out that...
They found her dead this morning. She didn't come into work, and they found her dead out in the tub.
And when did you receive this information?
This morning, after I'd called here a little while, maybe an hour or so later.
Johnny adds that he had also tried calling Connie himself that night. Every call went unanswered, but he assumed she was resting through another episode. Connie suffered from undiagnosed episodes that her doctors called spells, which sometimes left her unable to respond for a day or two at a time. The detectives listen carefully to every word that Johnny speaks. His words describe grief, but his voice doesn't carry any of it. There's a striking absence of emotion when he discusses the death of the woman he was married to for 45 years. Moving forward, they ask Johnny to walk them through the final hours before he and Aaron left for Hot Springs. They want to know exactly what happened at the house that morning, who was where, and when. Johnny tells the detectives that before leaving Deerfield, he said goodbye to Connie and locked the front door behind him. He was ready to leave, but Aaron stopped him before they could go.
He said, I need you to go to Walmart, which is in Fort Scott. Here's Fort Scott. Here's my house. I said, I need you to get a pair of black gloves, dress gloves, leather if you can. Okay, so I said, why don't we get them on the way? Why backtrack? He said, would you do it for me? He said, I gotta have prayer. I need a little time.
He didn't go with you?
No, he stayed there.
Johnny drove to Walmart but was unable to find the gloves anywhere in the store, so after buying a couple of other items, he drove back home. His receipt showed a checkout time of 12:32 p.m. When he returned home about 15 minutes later, Aaron was waiting.
So I come home, and here's my driveway. Here's the road. And there he is at the end of the driveway. Well, I thought it was weird. I stopped. He threw the plastic bag in there. He already had his backpack in there, I think, and hopped in. And I said, all right, said bye to Mom. Then we left.
Do you know what all he had in his backpack?
I have no idea. It wasn't a real big backpack. He did have a black plastic bag too, though, like a trash bag.
Okay.
It's not in the truck or anything. So that's gone. He threw it in the back when we left. It was raining. I just assumed he's keeping it dry. He could have dumped it.
What Johnny doesn't realize is the importance of what he's just said. At this point in the interview, only a handful of people know what was found in a black trash bag at Walmart hours earlier. Johnny is not one of them. He describes the bag plainly as a part of Aaron's gear during the drive down. There's no hesitation, no evasion, no sign that he understands the weight of the words. For the detectives, the calm delivery is telling. If Johnny had known what was inside the bag, he would have reacted differently, or he would have avoided mentioning it at all. As the interrogation continues, Johnny begins to examine the timeline himself, and for the first time in the interview, he openly considers the possibility that his son killed his wife.
You don't think he killed her, do you?
Mr. Goodwin, I have no idea. What's your feeling?
I think he might. I think he might have.
Okay.
I don't know. He's just been acting so crazy. I don't want to believe that.
The detectives leave the room to review the DoubleTree Hotel surveillance footage. When they return, their tone shifts noticeably. The video shows Johnny entering and exiting the building more times than he described during his account.
We watched some video footage from out at the DoubleTree. And I'll just be frank with you, it's not jiving with what you're saying the chain of events was that happened last night and early this morning. So I'm gonna ask you again, if there's something that you're holding back, that you're not wanting to tell us, we need you to tell us. I'm not accusing you of anything.
Right.
So think back, if you would.
Sure.
And tell us again what happened.
Johnny acknowledges forgetting certain details, but does not waver from the core of his story. The detectives step out of the room one more time. When they come back, they are no longer just asking Johnny for his memory. They are bringing him information from 300 miles away.
I don't know how else other to say this other than just come out right out and say it. They are investigating Connie's death as a homicide investigation. They haven't given us a whole lot of details, but it is believed that Aaron may have had something to do with it.
The detectives then ask Johnny a pointed question. Knowing what he knows, is there anything from the drive down to Hot Springs or any conversation with Aaron on the way that he has not yet mentioned? Something finally clicks for Johnny. He does remember one thing, something he had dismissed that morning because it made no sense to him at the time.
There was a note.
There was a note.
I forgot about that. It's in my cup holder. It said something like, I thought I was doing God's will.
In this note.
That's all it said.
And you found that when?
This morning. Yeah, but I stuck it in my cup holder.
Where was it when you found it?
It was on my console, top of my console.
Okay. And it says...
And it was on top of the room key, and I just stuck it in my cup holder, but then I got to thinking about that. But I didn't know what that meant, so it didn't make sense to me.
That's the whole content of the note?
That's it.
The note now carries an entirely different weight than it did that morning. Combined with the timeline, the plastic bag, and Aaron's increasingly disturbed behavior, it points in a single direction. Johnny still does not fully understand what that note means. The detectives are about to tell him.
We have the trash bag that was in your truck that you said Aaron was doing something with last time you saw him. And there is evidence in that bag that relates to the death of your wife.
There's more, ain't there?
I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this.
Okay.
So we get a call today, a local Walmart here in town, that a gentleman has called 911, and he has told the operator that there is a black trash bag in his truck. He's never seen it before, and whenever he opened this truck, there was blood inside the bag that had come out.
There was blood in the bag?
Yes, sir.
Lots of blood? I mean, from what? How bad was she?
There is...
How bad was she?
There is a body part.
Oh God, man!
In this bag.
What was it? Her?
And it, by all intents and purposes, it does appear that it is your wife.
How come you think it's her? Tell me, just tell me.
Your wife was decapitated.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding.
Johnny recoils from the words in visible shock. The composure that defined the entire interview collapses in an instant. The man who showed almost no emotion for hours is now completely shattered. For the detectives watching him, the reaction removes any lingering doubt about Johnny's involvement. His shock is not performance. He genuinely did not know what was inside the bag his son had been carrying, and he had no idea what Aaron had done to his wife. With Johnny and Webb both ruled out as suspects, detectives turned their full attention to the one person who has been at the center of every piece of evidence so far, and the only person still unaccounted for, Aaron Goodwin. To trace his movements on the night he vanished, they returned to the one place where Aaron was last seen alive. They obtained the complete CCTV footage from the DoubleTree Hotel. What the footage captures in the parking lot that night is the missing piece of the entire investigation. At 7:43 p.m. on October 28, 2020, Johnny's truck is captured on camera pulling into the parking lot, and Johnny is seen heading inside the hotel. For a while after that, nothing happens. The lot is dark and mostly empty. Then a figure appears at the back of Johnny's truck. The figure is Aaron. He removes a black trash bag from the truck bed and walks away from the vehicle. His movement has no clear direction, and he wanders through the lot, appearing disoriented and lost. Eventually, Aaron drifts toward another truck parked nearby. The truck belongs to Adam Webb, who parked there while attending a work conference at the hotel. Aaron places the black trash bag into the bed of Webb's truck, showing no visible awareness of his surroundings. After depositing the bag, he turns and walks toward the tree line at the edge of the hotel property, reaches the woods, and disappears into the darkness. The cameras never capture Aaron again after that moment. This is the last confirmed sighting of Aaron Enoch Goodwin alive. To understand what drove Aaron to do what he did that night, detectives look back at the weeks leading up to October 28th. While processing the Goodwin home, investigators discovered a series of ominous voicemails that Aaron had left for his parents in the days before the murder. One of them in particular stands out.
You guys have got to get out of there. Do not be home on Halloween. I'm serious. John, you got to renounce Emmanuel as the Savior. Go back to Jesus. I'm not you. The Aryans are coming.
The voicemail is not an isolated incident. It fits a pattern of behavior that had been building for weeks. Aaron had been wearing all black for weeks without any explanation. He quit his job about a month before the murder and told Johnny that God wanted him to go on a walkabout. Every detail pointed toward a mind that was steadily unraveling. Aaron had seen a counselor approximately 3 years earlier, and Johnny attributed some of his deterioration to past brain injuries, but Aaron resisted any further help and remained intensely private about his condition. After Aaron vanished from the hotel parking lot, his phone was found in the bed of a truck at the DoubleTree by a stranger who left it at the front desk. On the phone, detectives found a condolence message from one of Aaron's friends about Connie's death. After the night of October 28th, there was no further activity on Aaron's phone or any of his credit cards. He walked into the woods behind the hotel and disappeared without leaving a single trace. With Aaron's identity confirmed and the evidence pointing firmly at him, the case shifts from investigation to manhunt. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office names Aaron Enoch Goodwin as the sole suspect in Connie's murder and issues a warrant for felony abandonment of a corpse. He is classified as armed and dangerous, and his photograph is distributed to every media outlet in Arkansas and Missouri. The urgency of the search extends beyond solving the murder. Investigators know that Aaron has severe mental health issues and access to weapons. Finding him before he can hurt someone else or himself becomes a critical priority. Media coverage explodes across both states, and the public is warned not to approach him under any circumstances. Tips flood in from callers across both states who report possible sightings of Aaron in parking lots, on roadsides, or near wooded areas. Detectives investigate every single one, and none of them lead them to Aaron. Ground searches sweep through the wooded areas around Hot Springs and the nearby National Forest. In Missouri, investigators continue following up on leads from Kansas and the surrounding counties. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office requests federal assistance to widen the search, but months pass without a single confirmed trace of Aaron Goodwin. By March 2021, nearly 5 months after Connie's murder, the manhunt has produced no results and gone completely cold. Then, on March 6th, a phone call comes in from the outskirts of Hot Springs. Hikers on a wooded property near the 300 block of Columbia Hill Street have discovered human remains among the trees.
There's a body and a sleeping bag. You see the arm of the jacket? You can see the arm of the jacket, but I don't see any arms or hands. But there's a backpack next to it. But I'm not going to touch that backpack.
A firearm is also lying nearby. The remains are largely skeletal and in severe decomposition.
The rest of the body's there. Yeah, sticking out on that feet. The skull's bleached out. The pieces of it are. And I can see insect activity, though, where the neck used to be.
Officers arriving at the scene see the jacket, the position of the remains, and the gear. They immediately suspect the body could belong to Aaron Goodwin. On March 11, 2021, the Arkansas State Crime Lab confirms the identification. The remains belong to Aaron, and the manner of his death is ruled a suicide. From the moment Aaron walked into the woods behind the hotel and went completely dark, investigators had already suspected he may have taken his own life out there, so the autopsy results don't surprise them. With Aaron's body recovered, the manhunt ends, but the case itself never delivers the clean answers investigators had hoped for. Aaron was never located for questioning while he was alive. He was never formally charged beyond the warrant for abandonment of a corpse, and he never sat in an interrogation room. The full truth of what happened inside the Goodwin home on October 28, 2020, died with him in the woods. Based on all the collected evidence, investigators determined that Aaron killed his mother during what they believe was a psychotic episode. Johnny is cleared of all involvement in both Connie's death and Aaron's disappearance. Adam Webb is also fully cleared after security footage confirmed that Aaron placed the bag in his truck at the hotel, and no connection between Webb and the Goodwin family was ever found. What drove Aaron to commit this act remains unknown. Whatever he believed, whatever pushed him to that point, it left no clear trace. The only person who knew the truth walked into the Arkansas woods and never came back.